Hello everyone, welcome to Juju's Empathic Lightwork. This is another episode of a general reading. This is a general reading for the sign of Libra. Like I said before, this is a general reading for the sign of Libra. Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing well, whoever is watching this video. As I was resonating on your cards and meditating, I felt the energy of it's time, or in time, or something about time, or a time-relevant situation. Also, I heard mother, I heard father, I heard birthday. You know, us Libras, as I'm filming this video, I believe it is the start of Libra season on September 22nd, which this is that day. So today Libra season just started, and it's funny because when I start to choose who I'm going to read for, I just put the cards in a pile of the zodiac signs and just keep throwing them around, and this one actually popped up. This one in Aquarius. So I had to use a pendulum to see which one wanted me to do one first, and Libra came out. So Libra, as you can see, you are the sign of scales, and this is your season. Your season is just starting. I believe that the only big thing that was going on astrology-wise is Venus is going in retrograde on, I think, October the 5th. And that's just going to make things a little bit harder because it's in retrograde in the sign of Scorpio, so it's about endings and transformations and kind of letting go of things or cutting things out, or kind of being a little bit hypercritical as well. Today we'll be doing the Celtic cross spread for your general reading. I would like to remind everyone that not all cards would resonate with you guys, and not all the messages that I say will resonate with you. If you need more personal insight, I am good for personal reading. You can email me at empathic.litewerk at gmail.com. So before we start getting into your reading, I'm going to pull a few oracle cards, just a few. These oracle cards will be the energy for your month of October on forward, or whenever you watch this video. These are the energies that will be based around you. And for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or wherever Libra is in your chart. I am a Sun Libra, but I have a Capricorn in Moon, and I have a Venus in Virgo. But I have a lot of signs in Libra still, like Mars. My Mars is in Libra, my Mercury is in Libra. So maybe these messages will communicate with all of us. But I'm just going to pull a few oracle cards from the Energy Oracle deck from Sandra Ann Taylor. And I'm just going to pull a few of them just to see what energy is around you, and then we'll just go on to your reading with the traditional tarot. Also, as I was meditating on your cards, I was thinking about rejuvenation. I heard the words of relaxation. I've heard the words of trying to reroute your root chakra, if that makes sense to you, or to anyone out there. As we love to see, we love popping cards. Popping cards means prayers and messages ancestors and spirits and spirit guides want us to know about. I just need two more cards. Two more cards for the sign of Libra. One more popper. sign of Libra, 1 more for the sign of Libra. For the month of October 2018 on forward. And if I didn't say it before, happy birthday to those Libras out there, September Libras on forward. And if these messages don't resonate with you, you can always check out your moon or Venus sign. The reason I say Venus, I feel like sometimes the heart of the matter can be found by Venus itself. Venus is the outlook of desire, beauty, and henceforth, but, you know, it's also good for manifestation. Just one more. At the bottom of the deck we have the first chakra, the Archangel of Michael. As you can see, Michael is kind of like a soldier. He looks like a warrior. He's got a beautiful red heart that he's got holding on by his wayside. Should I read a little bit more about this card? It is card 35. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 is an even number. That could be infinity, that could be connection, that could be bond. Also, Archangel Michael talks about stability and security. Talks about being a very beautiful archangel that holds a beautiful glowing red orb of energy. And with this energy is located at the base of the spine, which is very interesting. Me being a Libra, sometimes I get a little tingle at my tailbone, so that feels like that's the base of the spine. Your sense of stability or security is stored there, and that's when this card is upright. It reveals that your energy is flowing freely, and regarding these issues, even if you had problems with feeling insecure in the past, these challenges are being resolved at this time. Archangel Michael is with you and brings you the strength and personal stability you need to be capable of taking action and moving forward on your path, so that you can allow yourself to feel increase in your faith of your own power and security now and forever. So whenever you feel like your stability is being taken over or feeling like it's not working out right, you can always call on Archangel Michael, because archangels are always in the universe and they're always at our disposal to be called. So, you know, Archangel has a beautiful red glowing energy to kind of show us that we have stability in our own personal hands. You know, man has free will, and we have the free will to keep going if we need to. Also at the bottom of the deck there was community, so you may be talking to your friends or having community type of time, or being in a community that you enjoy, like a hobby that you enjoy, or Dungeons and Dragons even. This is somewhere where you feel safe and you can kind of enjoy yourself with your friends. These 3 cards have popped up. So we have the woman holding a heart, the 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael, and Goddess of the Moon. Very interesting, we got another archangel. So there's a lot of archangels here. For me, in the oracle decks, whenever I see an archangel, I feel like it's kind of big major arcana energy. And for an Archangel Raphael, I believe he is the one that comes with love and compassion and self-love. This is the card 38. 3 plus 8 it is 11, so you can have imbalance, or you may be looking for balance. Archangel holds a beautiful energy surrounding him in a gentle wave of pink and glowing yellow lights at his heart center. This card is indicating that you have a greater readiness to receive love from others as well as from yourself. It could be also to indicate that you need much needed healing from previous broken hearts that has taken place. The tender vibration of Raphael reminds us to encourage us to compassionate self-talk and to always desire to hear from others, and know that as you do, the light from your heart center will shine with an irresistible beauty that the universe will send people and situations that cause your sense of love and support to grow and grow. So I feel like these are also the universe sending friends or new associates or new connections in your life that are going to help you grow into a bigger or better person. Or, this is also could just be you talking better to yourself or treating yourself better by thinking a little bit more for yourself, as in what you accept about yourself. And remember, this is Archangel is all about self-acceptance, and self-acceptance is about just allowing to accept yourself. And I know, even as a Libra sun sign, I can smile in front of everyone and be very happy, but it took a while to fully accept who I am and how I am and what I am, and that is a really different journey for different people. Some people get there faster, some people are still getting there. The Goddess of the Moon. The Goddess of the Moon, she is an energy of a luminous energy. She is also the card 52. The card 52, and 5 plus 2 is 7, so 7 is also a lucky or unlucky number, however you want to see it. But with that, it also shows that this could be a moment of choices or a moment of different situations for you. The Goddess of the Moon also talks about the intuition within you and the energy to always understand the power that you have, as she holds this reflective, beautiful moon. Just like a crystal ball, she can see through clear waters to a sparkling waterfall within it. Her arms are stretched out, and she herself is looking upward, receiving the light of the moon and the light of inspiration. This card is all about intuition, the ability to receive the insights from your soul's point of view. Receiving the card upright tells you that you have the power to get your intuition in all forms and types of issues that is now in this time that you can use. So in the month of October, I feel like as we're in our season or in our month, we'll be more intuitive and much more insightful, understanding what we want and what we need and what others want and what others need, and if those things correlate with one another. The Woman with the Heart. A woman with the heart is it talks about being a friend, or a friend that is like your ride or die girlfriend. This is like a feminine figure that you can really trust and have in your life. It is also the card 44. 44 is 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 is in like an infinite number. That's why we love the number 8, or some cultures love the number 8. The Woman of the Heart also talks about a female dealing with a family or a love or emotions. This woman, she's holding a butterfly in her hair and holding a lovely and large heart in her hands. For a woman, this card is a beautiful reflection of your own self or peaceful emotion, or if you have femininity or any feminine divine, this is also this reflection. Peaceful and reflective for love, and or it might be a message that your family issues are going to be resolved. You're an intuitive woman who understands the emotions of life, and you're bringing that to awareness to all that you do. This also shows that you could, in your present time, get a female friend, teacher, or a confidant that who is here to help you with your issues of love, family, or emotion, which I can really speak to as well because I have a lot of girlfriends, and I feel like these are those girls just holding their hearts and just, kind of listening. Even though you can see like she's trying to be indifferent and not judge, she's still listening. Her ears are kind of cocked, and her head's kind of cocked, and her ears kind of up and astute. This is the event. This is also an even-tempered and caring person who resonates with you on your emotions. This could also be a potential new love, interest, or a friend coming your way to kind of heal you in the heart matters or in your heart chakra. Okay, now we're going to go on to the general tarot spread. I'm going to leave these guys with you. I'll refer to those energies as we go through this tarot spread. Now I'm going to be using the Tarot Dreams by Giorgio Macharti. And like I said before, this is just a general reading. And we'll be using the Celtic Cross today. No, I did shuffle a few times already before off camera, and I did meditate your cards, and I'm just going to shuffle a little bit more, and then I'll cut the cards, and then we'll get into the spread. As I am shuffling these cards, I'm also thinking of the oracle cards that we just went through, the woman holding a heart, the fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael, and the goddess of the moon. As I look at these cards, I see that there is a connection to oneself of a lot of love and intuition. There is a type of seeing of giving yourself self-acceptance and kind of cutting yourself a break. People don't know that, as happy and smiley as we are the hardest on ourselves and very, very analytical and critical of our own actions. But we just go inside our head and do all that. We deal with all that as we are smiling and waving and hanging out with people and living our lives and cooking our food and taking care of our children and taking care of our pets. We are still smiling on the way through, but we have been through those heartbreaks or that destruction in our life that, you just keep moving forward. And that's what I love about a good Libra sign. They just keep moving forward no matter what happens. And they may get stuck at times and be stagnant, but eventually they always move forward. They always go towards whatever goal or whatever their heart chakra wants them to do. Also, with this woman holding a heart, I feel like maybe you need to hang out with your girlfriends more. If you are a female Libra, maybe you are really in your power, and Venus is really here trying to help you no matter what retrograde it is in or how direct it is in. And the woman with holding a heart kind of shows you that you may need a girls trip, or you may need a you trip if you're a female, but maybe you need your girlfriends around to kind of help you hang out and kind of relax and find that loving, chilling, nostalgic energy that will replace that heart chakra that got broken. Also, this could be about making new friends or opening yourself up to new things and allowing yourself to kind of feel what feels good, what feels right, who's holding that heart, and kind of replacing or replenishing your heart chakra. I'm going to cut the deck. And yes, I cut the deck. Very interesting. At the bottom of the deck we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups. So this could be a relationship. This could be a partnership. This could be a new relationship. This could be a new love, a new opportunity at something in the month of October and forward. This could also be a emotion of feeling new love or feeling replenished in the love department or in the heart chakra department. This is the sign of Cancer, and also the planet, I believe Venus, watches over this. Yes, it is Cancer and Venus. Wow, astrology. You're impulsive to relate. Venus tries to find a home and port and a secure, a dependable focus for its attention. Cancer. So this could also be you trying to focus on something new, you trying to find a home or security that is new as well. This could be impulsive energy of love, relation, or emotional energy. So we are going to lay out your spread, the Celtic cross spread. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And once again, like I said before, at the bottom of the deck we have the Two of Cups. So this also could represent a Cancer sign or a Venus sign. So Venus rules two different signs, that is Taurus and Libra. And that's very interesting because Venus, this is also you, your energy in the month of October, Two of Cups. The first card in your spread is the signifier. It is the kind of like the theme or the energy that you could have to be dealing with in the month of October and forward. We have the major arcana, lovers. The lovers. This is a decision. This could be a choice between relationships or between jobs or a connection or bond with something or someone. This is a signifier, as in this energy could be major in your month of October. And this also is the sign of Gemini. This is the major arcana. This energy isn't always about romance, but it is a lot about choices and decisions. It is about trying to make a choice or trying to know what the right choice is. This also speaks of a relationship of any kind. It doesn't have to be specifically a love relationship, but it can be a love relationship. Sharing one's viewpoint with another successfully or unsuccessfully, revealing vulnerabilities or partially revealed mysteries, attraction of opposites. So this opposites attract card, this decision, this new relationship of any kind, you could be having to think of this decision. You may have to deal with the decision or in depth what your viewpoints are or or is there a successful bond or unsuccessful bond? I feel like also that revealing the vulnerabilities, this signifier, I feel like you've revealed different things that you wouldn't reveal with a lot of people, and that type of vulnerability has made you raw. So you've been wounded before. So being that raw, you have to understand that those vulnerabilities that you revealed, they may or may not be thrown back at you some days. They may or may not be used in a way that you may not see, but it is hurtful and you just don't even realize it because you just put it in the background. Now, this being the signifier, this is a major arcana, and I kind of want to clarify it, but I'm just like, let me kind of figure out what's the next card. The next card is you. Oh, so the next card is you. We have the King of Cups. The King of Cups. So since we already started with the signifier, I feel like we don't even need to clarify for the signifier because we have you as the King of Cups. And I feel like you may have to decide over a water sign of some sort, or you may have to, or a water sign may be coming into your life. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. You also may have Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces in your chart. You know, you may have a moon or a Venus sign in your chart. Okay, I just want to clarify the lovers before we move on. So I took right off the top of the deck, and we have the Nine of Cups. The Knight of Cups. To clarify the lovers for the signifier, we have the beautiful Knight of Cups, and this is an action or a person of some sort. Let it be another water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So already before we even start into this, we have a lot of water, we have a lot of emotion, we have a lot of also action too, because the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups, these are court cards in the Minor Arcana, and court cards in the Minor Arcana are just like one step up from the regular Minor Arcana and one step down from the Major Arcana in the Tarot deck. And these signify people or personality traits or different types of approach to life that you took in, or people that have these type of traits. So I'm just going to read a little bit more about these Knight of Cups and the King of Cups, because I just want to know a little bit more about them. The King of Cups personality is unlike any other cup in the court cards. This king must live both below and above the water's surface. He seems to be emerging from the waves, yet we can still see that the water surface above him. It is his job to take the feelings of intuition received from the depths and translate them into action in the real world. He acts as a mediator or a counselor. He even sometimes deals with other people's emotional matters. His extraordinary ability to be empathize with those who come to him to place their self at his shoes make him an invaluable member of our society. Unlike the other kings, the King of Cups wears a very chrysalis instead of a circlet instead of a crown. The circlet, it defines emotion or emoting, because he is emotionally identifies with those who seek his help, for those who seek his help. So, you know, sometimes the King of Cups is a very humble king, but also the King of Cups is ruled by the energy of Neptune. So he can be a little bit stronger at times. He stares intently at his single empty cup. He knows that we can all have the emotional fantasies we want, but unless we take the concrete actions and encourage the others to do the same, those fantasies will never emerge into the real world or never will become a significant part of our lives. And also in the stage of development, this could be an emotional matter that is ready to manifest. It is a relationship or a development in a relationship. You are ready to communicate with something or someone that you feel heavy or strong towards. You are mature enough to counsel or help yourself and others meditate to find peace. Also, this card signifies two-thirds Pisces, one-third Aquarius. The king has full of understanding on a non-rational and non-linear patterns of emotional life, Pisces, yet desires to use the understanding to help society in general, Aquarius, is a different part in general. Approach. The kings are controlling. This king of cups suggests that you have to take charge of your emotional life. Don't be afraid to communicate your feelings or to offer advice to others in need. Only in need, though. Sometimes I know that as a Libra sun sign, I know that sometimes you want to help people and you think that putting your 2 cents is always the best sense, but it sometimes makes no sense, and you don't really need to put that in. If they don't ask for it, then don't give it to them. I've always been, as a Libra sun sign, I've always been a little overly helpful. Instead of just waiting for people to ask, I've already offered my help before it's even begun. So now then people have gotten used to just taking my help or using my help all the time, and then I'm like, oh wait, I need some help of my own, or I need some emotional balance or emotional energy of my own. And so that's also a good note too. I don't know why I just went off on that, but yes. And with the clarifier of the Knight of Cups for the lover, I feel like the Knight of Cups is a action type of knight. It is a knight of feeling though as well, because as you have to remember, cups is all about emotion or emotional energy. While the page floats in the surface, this knight plunges straight into the depths. A figure of fantasy, he rides a seahorse. On his shield he bears a cup motif. He is a champion of love. He lives and dies for love, and he is in love with love. Think but many think this knight would be a perfect lover, but a steady diet of romanticism would probably become tiresome after a while. Nonetheless, without his energy, the world would be dull and a dull place indeed. The Knight of Cups represents a stage or someone in your life who is focused on emotional matters, who must be careful also to control emotional matters. Care must be taken that is focused on or does not have to be turned into an obsession. It could just be taken into focus. An approach from the Knight of Cups is the Knight of Doing. This also is two-thirds Scorpio, one-third Libra. That's very interesting because Libra, this is your reading, and technically you've already showed up even in the signifier. So this could be you doing something. This could be your actions and you appreciating your own emotional energy or emotional matters. The Knight of Cups recommends that you take emotional matters into your own hands. All too often we find ourselves paralyzed in relationships, indecisiveness, or incapability of responding. The Knight tells us to dive in deep into the pool and see what we see. The Knight of Cups in astrology appreciates the beauty of his beloved Libra, which he worships with an extravagant intensity, Scorpio. So I feel like Libra, this is also very much you. This is, as a Libra sign, like I said, we can love hard, we can love strong, and with the power of Scorpio, and since Scorpio is kind of like our sister sign or our next door neighbor sign, we kind of feel that energy a lot as well, and that intensity that we have kind of comes from that Scorpio energy of, we are ride or dies for our partner. We partner up, it's like Noah's Ark. We don't leave. I mean, unless we have to leave the ship, like we did with Jack, but that was the Titanic, so that's a whole different story. That being said, we still are the action. We still are the doers. I know a lot of Libras, once they put their mind in something, they put it into action. I know a lot of Libras that also can't make their mind up worth a damn, but they still try anyway. So that being said, with the lovers, I feel like you have choices or different types of relationships that you have to make choices on, and to do that, you have to be a knight of doing. You have to be an emotional knight as well, though. You have to appreciate the beauty in all the beloved, and also remember that you have this intensity of love. So if this intensity of love can't be met back by the beloved as well, I understand, but you can't hold that against the beloved. You could just take that into account and see what you have to do, or see what to do then forth. So we're going to go to the next card in this spread, which is the crossing energy. Crossing energy, we have the Five of Pentacles, or the Five of Cups. This is Earth energy, sign of Mercury, and the sign of Virgo. And very interesting, like I said, I have Virgo and Venus. And this is crossing energy. This is the energy that you have to watch for, that is kind of a little bit something that you don't see coming. And fives, like I said before, talks about unbalance, or something out of balance, something out of whack. This could be a financial situation, or this could be a material possessions of any sort. This is the sign of, like I said, Mercury, and the sign of Taurus, and the sign of Virgo. Now, the Five of Coins also talks about misfortune, about going through extremes to protect the ones that we love, and being let down in social institutions or social situations. A poor me frame of mind also. This could be a pity me frame of mind as well. So this crossing you, this could be self-esteem issues. This could be you may not be making as much money as you think. You may not be financially stable, or something is not as stable as you would have liked it to be. And that being said, you kind of get this pity state of mind of, who's going to help me out, or what's going to happen next. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out of this hole that's sitting here. And this hole that I'm sitting in is just a big old hole. It's literally a five, even though the Five of Cups talks about a very hard type of sadness, it's I can't read Roman numerals. This is not the Five of Cups. This is the Ten of Cups. Not the Ten of Cups. This is the Ten of Coins, the Ten of Pentacles. This talks about a completion or an ending. This is the sign of Mercury and the sign of Virgo. The Ten of Cups talks about a completion of some sort. Your labors coming to final fruition. The Ten of Coins also talks about a material possession or a prosperous type of ending. This is also sensing the magic that resides in the ordinary. This is the beauty and the potential in hidden material things around us, and the light that is at the end of the tunnel. This is also a mental attitude, Mercury, or an appreciation for the humble and the modest, the ordinary, Virgo. In which, I know a lot of Virgos, they're very laid back and they're very kind of groundy and earthy, and they like the good things in life, but they also don't mind the simple things in life, and that's always good. And this shows that, the Ten of Coins also shows that in this dark forest, that it is covered in a archway with ivory, and it opens to a beautiful gate, open with energy and a glimpse seen of a golden light. A stone path wandered through the sunlit trees, and 10 coins float down from the sky to carve two carved faces adore the archway. The theme of this card and the theme of this energy is that magic is in the ordinary. It's in the simplest things, in the simplest of powers. Even let it be stones that I'm wearing, or different gems that I'm wearing, or let it be just a chant that you say, or an affirmation that gets you through the day or gets you through hard times. That energy could also be your divine self kind of coming back and kind of showing you that you have energy or magical eyes to see that you can look through a magical world in anything, let it be simple or non-simple, let it be complex, or let it be just toast and jam and having Netflix to chill with, or going out and getting some caviar and having a beautiful night on the town. The simplicity or the magic that you see doesn't have to be real magic. It can be in the mundane. But this being said, this is the energy that is crossing you. So maybe you see in the mundane or in the ordinary that everything is just too ordinary, or something is just too boring. And I know with Libras worry about boredom. Libras kind of get bored easily, and so they do a lot of things, or they multitask, or they have a lot of hobbies, or they have a lot of things that keep their minds busy because they can get bored at times. They're very intuitive, empathic sign. And that energy crossing you could show you that the Ten of Coins could also be a struggle, or a struggle that demands you to get over, or a struggle that you have to deal with, even if it seems like you have to go to a dark place, because the proverbial light at the end of the tunnel is the spark of optimism. And this card kind of shows you that even though you may be going through a darkness or going through a hardship of some sort or some kind, I feel like you are going to see that light at the end of the tunnel. And the two faces also represent our subconscious and our conscious mind, our masculine, feminine, and our masculine, our masculine and our feminine in all divine. So that being said, it could also be us trying to find that self-acceptance, that judgment of what is good enough for us, what is going to get us out of a boredom or out of the ordinary and back to the extraordinary, back to the magical way that we view things. And that's what I always love about a Libra, is how optimistic or how magical they can giggle at something, or deal or brush off a hardship. This is also about allowing yourself to deal with that and know that there's light at the end of the tunnel, even if it's dark at the moment. So in the fourth position in this card, we have the foundation. In the foundation of October, we have the Six of Wands. This speaks of victory, and that is ruled by the planet Jupiter and the power of Leo. The Five of Wands is also a fiery energy, so this could be action, this could be passion, this could be sex or any type of sexual energy. The wands speak of a very passionate and happy victory, especially the Six of Wands. A battle leader appears at the out balcony proclaiming his victory, and 5 wands are being held above him in obstinance. The 6th, he is held with a scepter by the leader, and is the only one topped with a glowing red crystal. On his breastplate, a dragon and the element of fire. The dragon motif is repeated on the banner hanging over the balcony edge. This is a straightforward, simple way of saying victory. Victory is yours. Victory is at hand. Victory is in your foundation, and that's really good to have victory in your foundation. Also, you could have Leo energy or Leo in your chart, or a Leo around you that is giving you that push to be victorious or make you feel victorious, or you're being victorious because you have that Leo energy in you. Also, this is, I'm sorry, not the sign of Jupiter. Jupiter is the other way around. This is the sign of Saturn. And Saturn, and in Leo, this is about the creative and self-confident Leo faces restrictions and limiting effects of Saturn. And Saturn is the planet of learning, or the planet of completion, or karmic completion, or karmic lessons. And that's in your foundation. I feel like with this victory, you could also have dealt with battles within this past summer, within this past year. I believe that when you have a birthday, it's your own personal New Year, and then 365 days later, you get your personal New Year again. But right now, your personal New Year is either happening or it's about to come, and you want to know if you are victorious. Have you kind of, from your birthday, since your last birthday, have you been victorious in the things that you wanted to do? Have you been happy with the actions that you've taken? The 5th card we have in this spread is the past. Now, this could be the present past, this could be the distant past. It's however it relates to you. This is the Palace of Coins. Now, mind you, in any tarot deck, it's 78 cards. There are 56 minor arcana, 22 major arcana, and the major arcana are major life decisions, major life energy. So you got major life energy from the very moment, the very get-go. You got the Lovers. This minor arcana, the minor arcana are just the mundane, or different energies that you could be dealing with on your daily life, or just in personalities or energies that you would be dealing with. But in this deck, we have 4 extra cards, and those cards are called palace cards, and there's a palace for each element. Fire, the Wands Palace; water, the Cups Palace; earth, the Coins Palace; and air, the Swords Palace. So we have the Palace of Coins, and the Palace of Coins talks about our present, or our past in a present sense, or our past in a distant sense. And in our past, we have the Palace of Coins. And this could be just the fact of calling it foundation, calling it home, a very homey place. Also, this could be a place of great security or safety. Let me read a little bit more about this card. The other palaces are fun palaces to visit, but the Palaces of Coins, that's where you live. Here is where you feel safe and secure, where we can tend to our earthly needs, where we can be kings and queens of our own castle. And as we are kings and queens of our own castle, here also we can experience the 4 elements of energy as fully human attributes. Fully human attributes: the intellectual owl, the impetuous deer, the moody frog, and the mundane mouse. The mountains in the background are more distant than from the Palace of Wands. The dreams and goals remain, but the home is always waiting when we are ready to rest from our journey, or need rest from our journey. This card also speaks to us about security, a home away from home. This could be talking about maybe you have moved houses, or maybe you have moved from your home state, or maybe you have moved from a place of your root chakra. So now you know that there's a home in the distant place, or even if you're living in a home right now, even if you live in a home right now, maybe there's somewhere else where your root chakra, or in your past where your root chakra, the palace of coins, that place where you feel was secure and earthly and tended to all your earthly needs. That place is in your past. So maybe you have moved, or maybe you have moved your home states, or moved places or houses, or maybe you're a kid that has moved on from college. Maybe you're into college now, and this is basically like your first full month of not being with your family, and you being here, being in college, and not having your palace of coins, which is in your past. But your palace of coins is always going to be there, because you can make a palace of coins, and you can have another palace of coins anywhere else. So I mean, for me, I feel like it shows that the past is got your palace, it's got the security. It kind of gave you the security a long time ago. And then we have the 6th card in this spread, which is the present. This is the present. We have the 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands is also the sign of Aries. It is fiery energy. So far we've had every element in here besides air. Well, technically the Lovers is the sign of Gemini, so yes, we have even had air. We've had air, earth, water, and fire. Now, this 4 of Wands speaks to choices, or speaks to a victory of some sort. It also speaks to safety and security. It speaks to a energy of taking a concrete action in order to create the changes and desires you need to set forth. As we stand in this forest, we are looming above the treetops. A striking vision of 4 towering wands. Our columns are reaching to the sky, and an enormous tree door swings open slowly, revealing a blinding light behind the columns, and the door, a huge red moon, hangs in the sky. The column suggests that sturdiness and stability, especially when we consider that there are 4 of them, since the number 4 traditionally symbolizes solidarity or security. The doors also suggest that stability, since this doors also suggest that stability, or since the implying of the structure is stable, that provides safety from the elements or from any attacks. This safety and stability is also the card that shows that this card has the elements of extreme unreality, as in maybe you're a little bit too safe, or maybe you're a little bit too wanting to be stable. This demonstrates all of our endeavors and projects which begin as dreams and visualizes us to change, but at some point in their progress begin to manifest themselves in the real world, or else be doomed to remain in airy visions or inside your mind. Also, this card can appear now as an open door. In other words, to take a concrete action, or to create a change or a desire. So this could be a decision of some sort, a change or an action that you feel like you need to change, that you need to take, and it's a very fiery, passionate energy. And this is the sign of, it's ruled by the planet Venus, which is our planet. The planet Libra is Venus. And then we have our opposition, or the sign that is opposite of us, which is Aries. And this Aries could be a good one to learn from. Aries are the ones to get up and go and get their shit done. And if they want something, they're gonna grasp for it, and if they don't get it, you're gonna know, because they're gonna be pissed. But they usually always get it, because they don't care about anything else that gets in the way. They have to get to that goal, or get to that safety, or get to that security that will keep them sane and stable. The seventh card in our spread we have is the future. This is the future. Now, the future may look bleak. This is the five of coins. Now, it was funny because in your crossing energy, I thought this was the five of coins, even though I'm blind and I see 10 coins right here. but I was like, I thought this was the five of coins. This is the crossing energy. But instead, in the future energy, we have the five of coins. Now, this may look bleak and this may look dark, but this talks about a child and a mother being out in the cold. October is a fall going into winter month, so it is a colder month, so this could talk about you being out in the cold with your child. I know it's hard to hear for your future, but the future could be far, it could be distant, it could be over in a moment. The future is ever changing, and I know you ain't gonna be out in the cold with your child, because especially with your child, I know you ain't gonna be out in the cold. You're gonna work, you're gonna hustle, you're gonna do something, anything to make sure that you don't have to deal with the situation of heartbreak or a type of darkness. This card also represents a battle or a struggle, a teaming up against a common foe, a cooperative, creative work, or people who are isolated from each other yet work together. This also talks about like I said before, a team that could be breaking apart. This could be a team that is not working at all together, so that you have to go through extremes with loved ones. You have to go through being let down and being put in horrible situations or social institutions or social situations that are poor for your frame of mind. Or you may get into a pity party because something in your future makes you go here, because you feel like the choices that you thought were going to make you go stable or make you bring that stability in your present life may have not planned out. Maybe you didn't take that action, so then anyway, out in the cold, you were put. Maybe you did take that action, but it was just too damn late, and now it's winter and you were freezing your ass off. And this is the sign of Mercury and the sign of Taurus. So you may have a Taurus in your life, or whatever Mercury is in your chart. You should look at what sign that is. Maybe it is Taurus. This also talks about a struggle of some sort with your kids. This talks about a woman that is dressed in rags that is standing outside of a church in a driving snowstorm. In her arms she holds a bundled infant, and in the other arm she holds a cup. With each she begs for alms. And the complex of this card is that there are several interpretations. It could just mean that there's simple misfortune, or maybe you went through a misfortunate event, or no matter how well or how often we may be at the present of being to possibilities, maybe these possibilities just haven't existed yet because the wheel of fortune hasn't turned, and so it leaves you in a disenfranchised mind, which makes you do extreme things. And the misfortune need not to be physical. We could just be dealing with emotional misfortune, mental or creative misfortune. So this could be the death of an idea. This could be a death of a way that you think of things as you know it, or this could be, you being stepped out on, your partner being stepped out on, you being left out in the cold, a connection being lacked, a connection being just undisturbed because something just isn't working out well. And so then you just act kind of outraged. And for a moment, I get this message of, a baby mama just goes crazy and is like, hell no, I'm not dealing with this baby daddy no more. I didn't want a baby daddy in the first place. I wanted a husband, a man. But if I have to deal with the baby daddy, I don't want to have to deal with him and me and our child in the same room. Like, I don't want to have to deal with that. I want to deal with just me and my child. And then you like, okay, I'm out here with my child. And then you're like, God damn, it's cold and it's freezing. And you're like, I don't want to go back in there with this man. I don't care to go back there. I'd rather just go forward and deal with the misfortune, the fact that I had to leave this man and leave the baby daddy, but it's wiser as a mother, and wiser for myself, and wiser for my child. He wasn't that good anyway. Even he may have been doing everything that he thinks he was doing, but it wasn't good enough for me, and makes you go into an extreme, makes you go into an earthy type of bullheaded energy. And Taurus is a bullheaded energy. It's gonna be like, I don't give a damn. It's gonna be passionate, but it's gonna be, I don't give a damn, because I feel like my feelings were hurt. I feel like my mental state was hurt. I feel like my creative endeavors were hurt because something or someone did something to stifle those, to hurt those. And so then you had to be put out in the cold. You look crazy as hell being out in the cold, but you know that going back inside was actually, in the place that you were, was a little bit harder and actually much rougher. So this also speaks to a misfortune of thinking of who are you going to have to deal with, or what do you think you will have to deal with, or what you will take, or what will be your breaking moment, or what will be the camel's back. Also, this card speaks of, this image is in a positive light. The woman is doing everything in her power to provide for her child, even if it means accepting assistance at the expense of her dignity. We might focus on the church window. Here again, there are several possibilities. The card could be seen as a indicatement indecisement of a church, or something generally like a social institution or social interactions, which often fail to be fulfilled to their mandate to help us to this disadvantage. Or we could place the blame on a woman who begs for physical help yet refuses spiritual assistance offered just a few steps away. As in, she can go to the church. She can go to the church. She didn't want this man. She didn't want this baby daddy. She didn't want this situation. So find Jesus. Find it. Find it. Find Jesus. Land, Blanche, and find Jesus. And it says here that, as this woman doesn't want to take these steps, in the case she does take these steps, the woman will see that a half empty rather than a half full type of cup cultivates a poor me type of frame of mind in order to garner sympathy from those around her. The interperception implies that our success or our failure in life can be often due more to our own attitudes than anything else, or our own actions than anything else. So she may have just popped off, and then he was like, I don't really like you anyway. I don't really want to be with you anyway. And then she's like, I don't want to be with you either. Fine, fuck it. I'm taking the kid and gone. And you gone. But then you're like, okay, I'm out here in the cold. Then you go to a pitying state of mind. You like, oh Lord, woe is me. Should I go back to this man, or should I figure out what to do next? And you're like, no, this is what I have to do. I have to move forward. This is better for my child. This is what I'm gonna have to do. But I'm gonna use these tears to start getting what needs to be done, to get that home or get that security that my child needs, even if I gotta go to the church itself. You will also need to be careful to examine this card in its context. So, as this card in its context being your future state, I feel like your future state is that there may be a break, or there may be some type of foundation of some sort being broken down, but it's probably better for the best. You have the power to provide for your child, but you have to remember that maybe your dignity will go down. Maybe you got to be a stripper. Maybe you got to go and start going to working at the fast food restaurants, even though you got a college degree. Maybe you have a lot of different types of. You're gonna have to work 3 or 4 jobs to make sure you provide for this child, but at least you ain't got to deal with this baby daddy no more, or deal with this partner or this lover that didn't really provide for you besides the child. And you now have to take care of that child because they ain't gonna provide for the child. I mean, they could, but you don't trust it, so you ain't gonna do that. You're gonna do it by yourself. This also is a sign of Mercury and Taurus. Like I said, your mind. That is, Mercury is the planet of mind. It is the mental planet, and that's very interesting because my Mercury is in Libra, so I think like a Libra. And your mind Mercury is placing too much emphasis on the physical comforts or lack thereof, Taurus. So just because she out in the cold, maybe she don't give a damn. She knows that the home that she was in was much shittier. I mean, much colder, much more freezing, without no snowflakes, without no breeze, without no blizzard, without no storm. It was much colder, and she just didn't want to deal with that. She didn't have to deal with that. So she was ready to go. But she can't be focused on the fact that she's homeless or she's out there on the streets, because she put that in her own situation, but she can take herself out of that own situation as well. So that is good, because this could be a future. This future doesn't have to be bleak. It can be bright, because as you can see, the light is shining through the church, throughout the church, and she's outside. So if the outside is so dark and bleak, this church is kind of showing a foundation of the fact that she can find her own security in her own warm light very soon. The eighth card in our spread we have is yourself. So we had you in the beginning, we had the signifier of Gemini in the beginning, and you yourself in this spread is the Page of Coins, which is very interesting. The Page of Coins talks of a type of material possession of some sort. The personality of the Page of Cups is also having yet to obtain the practical experience in the world. She strives to instead study and take on the resources she can to find what she'll need to prepare herself for the future endeavors. She is not wandered yet in the green meadow pictured in this card. It is the study of being studying afar. The two pillars behind her represents knowledge, and the so far exists only in an abstract concept. Her serious expression and her cool, even gaze denote a professional, responsible attitude towards studies and analytical scientist approach to the world and to those around her. So this definitely sounds like a Libra to me, because a Libra is very introspective. They analyze a lot. They definitely look around the room. They definitely, notice and pick up dumb, stupid details, what's wrong with this? You look at a movie and you see that, a part has been edited or been cut out, and you can tell, someone changed their shirt or someone moved differently. This is the study of that. This could also be the study of of any type of trade of any sort. This could be the study of material possessions as well. This card in the state of development, it represents a beginning of material possessions or material endeavors. So this could be making coin, getting coin, producing coin. You could be starting to construct a physical object or beginning a project involving gardening, nutrition, diet, or exercise. You could be thinking about becoming a parent, taking a suit of coins more literally, or you could be embarking in a new savings and plan of investment. So remember, this page may not do that much, but she is investing. She's using her time and her resources and her materials wisely. This also is about a good diet or a good exercise. So for yourself, I feel like you're focusing on more of the earthly things, the things that naturally should be nurturing you. And it's interesting to see, because this is an earth card, and Mother Earth is all about nutrients. You know what I mean? We get our food from Mother Earth. Our animals live on Mother Earth. We are nutritioning ourselves and dieting ourselves for what we feel like is our best selves. Or this could also represent you wanting to go on a diet, or wanting exercise for yourself, or wanting a nutrition plan, or wanting to garden. I do know a couple Libras out there who love gardening, and this is just you gardening and you being in yourself in your own spread of the Celtic cross, of just finding peace and tranquility. And pages also are about learning. The Page of Coins, though, is about learning in the material world. It is the approach of suggested that would be learned about physical possessions or going on around you. So physical possessions are also being talked about. This could be talking about an inheritance. This could be talking about a different type of investment. This could be talking about a physical process of going towards putting monies in a savings or getting stocks and bonds. This could also be like E-Trade or something like that. The ninth card in your spread is the environment. The environment around you is the Ace of Cups, which I think is interesting because at the bottom of the deck you had the Two of Cups, remember? So the Ace of Cups is about a new love, a beginning of a new relationship of some sort, of any sort. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it is of some type of emotion. That emotion is a very happy type of go-lucky emotion at this point. And the Ace of Cups kind of speaks to us about the fact that in your relationship or in your environment there is new emotion or new relationships surfacing. There is also the potential opportunities that could bring you such emotions that is happy. It is also about a goodwill or a gift in the middle of conflict. So this could also be the Ace of Cups is also a gift from the subconscious. Like being handed a cup to us, the cup may contain love, happiness, jealousy, fear, even hate. But the plethora of emotions that are in this cup are up to you. We generally can't stop ourselves from seeing an emotion, but we can't stop ourselves from feeling an emotion, but we can certainly have something to say about how we will react or how we will act on these emotions, how we will see ourselves as a result of the emotion. This card also, like the rest of the suit cups, describes that these different ways of responding to the gift handed to us by the Ace of Cups is the way to deal with the emotion at the basis, to come there fresh and to be happy and to be kind of looking at it anew and with beautiful possibilities instead of negative possibilities. This also can tell us about an experience of a new emotion or a relationship. So any single Libras out there, this could be for you. This could be in your environment. This could be a new love of some sort, a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or you may have Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio in your chart, and in your chart, and you're kind of trying to look for that love, or you're trying to find those opportunities. This also stands for potential opportunities of emotional consideration that can give us plentiful happiness. We also have to admit conflict with someone. The Ace of Cups tells us that the goodwill always prevails. We do not have to search for it. It will always be there, and an inexhaustible supply waiting for us to take up the cups of loving kindness. So this is the energy of a real like blessing of happiness, and I really love this card because I feel like this is also you, Libra, kind of generating that energy or bringing that energy around you because you are a very loving creature or a loving person. You are bringing and generating that love in itself. The 10th card we have the Ten of Wands. And the 10th card is hopes and fears. So hopes and fears, this is the sign of Saturn, so learning lessons, and the planet Saturn and the sign of Scorpio. And the Ten of Wands talks about a lot of kind of laying down your burdens, kind of laying down any type of fights or complications you've had to do. Also, as I read on this book, it says an endeavor has progressed to the point where complications, obstacles, and pressures weigh you down. Just like gravity, these wands weigh over you with energy and fire. Being a slave to one's ambitions, a project that has run its course, or it may be time to progress to something new. Now remember, in your environment, there was something new, or something new around you that was coming. And the page of coins also talks about a beginning, or a new beginning of material. The Ten of Wands also speaks of a man that kneels down, and he bears all his weight, as he bears all on his back the weight of the 10 wands in a crisis cross pattern. A triangle, the elemental symbol of fire, casts a yellow light down. There comes a point when, in every endeavor, a person or a project, when it just simply collapses under its own weight. The original fire or the inspiration that had sparked the endeavor are all but extinguished, and under the weight of the complications or obstacles or intricacies needed to keep the endeavor going, the flame is soon, but if not dying. In the Ten of Wands, this man seems to be overwhelmed with despair. His ambition and visions have brought him to an honored place, but that position, while exalted, is also quite uncomfortable, and the pressures the pressures represented by the wands press down on him, and he feels the burdens. But in alternative, the man could be just seen as bowing to obstinance to his own goals, which have become his taskmasters. He no longer is in an autonomous individual, but now he an autonomous individual. Now he is an actual individual, but instead he has become a slave to his own ambitions and his own self. Implied that in all of us this is a growing conviction that the endeavor has run its course, or run the usefulness of itself, and has become more trouble than it is worth. It may also be that advantages to start thinking about. It may be advantages to start thinking about bringing the project to a close, and letting something or someone or anything start a new spark of interest or fire to begin the ace. In astrology, Saturn in Sagittarius, the expansive freedom and loving tendencies of Sagittarius are limited by the lessons that we learn by Saturn. So this also could be you having to deal with your own expectations. You having to deal with the fact that you brought things to this high expectation, and you wanted it so badly to be this way, but maybe that's not how it works, Libra. Maybe this time around you are kind of bearing your burdens, and you have to either deal with the task that you have been given, or just be an individual and not be a slave, not be burdened down by these things that no longer serve you if they don't serve you. But just remember that progression is good, even if you have to start all over again. Progression could be from starting from square one, just like the power of the phoenix. They are beautiful, and they grow old, and they grow old, and then once they get too old, they literally burn up and they die. And in those ashes is a beautiful phoenix baby that rises again, and it has to start over again. And for me, that is what represents the wands, this Ten of Wands. And I do know a lot of Sagittariuses, and I actually did Sagittarius's reading very recently, and it also talked a lot about moving on or letting go of your burdens, and it did have a few of the same cards that you have too. So if you want to watch that Sagittarius video, it is up. Final outcome, as you can tell from your hopes and fears, this burden, or this type of pose, or this type of goals that you have come to a close with, or the things that have weighed on you, are obviously the fears more than the hope. Final card, the 11th card, is the Chariot. Major Arcana, the Chariot. This is also the major arcana of Cancer. Um, you may have a Cancerian in your life or a Cancer in your life. The Chariot talks about victory. Just like the Six of Wands, it talks about a victory of moving forward, though. A victory of some sort. So I'm just going to read a little bit more on this book here. A confident approach to life, or a willpower, a youthful yet inexperienced energy, a pride, an arrogance, and an anger caused by insecurity. So also this could be you in the fact that you have a different approach in life and you're so confident, or you're so confident that it's coming off as arrogant, or you're so prideful that it's coming off as arrogant, or you're angry because of the fact that the instability or the insecurities isn't something that you want to deal with either. Especially being a Libra, conflict is not your thing. You don't want to have to deal with it either. But this shows that the Chariot also is about persona in the Fool's Journey. Persona in Latin means the mask. So in terms, this could be the architect of kind of showing you a vehicle, kind of showing you yourself in the present form of the reality world. In the Chariot card, this vehicle could literally be a vehicle, a chariot. It could also be that each of the previous cards serve as a component in the chariot's construction. So let it be the Lovers, which is literally right before the Chariot we have the Lovers, and you can see in fact that the Chariot, the Strength, and the Devil card form a triumphant or a common theme of each deals with, ambulance in their inner force or their inner self that can help us become, or help us be, but also have the potential for great harm if we don't harness it properly. This card shows that we have strength as the tiger has been tamed by a masterful woman, but in biological terms, the tiger would represent adrenaline or something of the sort. The vehicle for this energy is the construct of the Chariot. However, these previous cards are not simply static concept. They are also energies that these energies are known to be preferred and directed and have agendas, which often can be contradicted by each other. The cards are concepts. These cards are concepts that are represented by the Chariot. The cards are energies. These horses are energies. They represent the fact that you are moving on, or moving forward. With the power of these beautiful white horses, together these energies pull together like the Chariot forward. But left unguided, they would pull the Chariot apart and destroy the Chariot. Therefore, the charioteer, representing the part of you that is most quintessential you, must be held fast at the reins to hold the horses and the energy to move forward for your chariot to move in the direction you choose. The tarot genes, chariot and charioteers, and all the horses emerge from the ocean. White horses arising out the sea, foaming, are frequently used as a poetic image of white horses, the term of white-capped waves, or the image of the perfect chariot, because we actually see the personality that we very well act like, or would like to act like, to come out of the turbulent sea and find itself from the subconscious. The charioteer stands effectively shows his attitude and strength and pride and adventurous. And his adventurous nature perhaps is a bit of arrogance, and as he sets forth onto his journey, he must remember that the charioteer has only just recently assembled his personality and decided only at this time to take this direction on his journey. So he certainly has not a seasoned and mature traveler, but he is a traveler nonetheless. He might be likened to an adolescent's confidence in a newfound stature, but the lacking of experience that leads to wisdom is still not there. Perhaps the best definition of a mature person is the one who knows that he does not know everything. And the charioteer is not afraid to obtain the self knowledge of his own arrogance. The true value of the charioteer is to lie in an indomitable willpower, his belief in his own ability to move forward and succeed despite the obstacles and his own insecurities. His own powerful, optimistic energy is always available to us. As you can see, this also shows of an energy of moving on and moving forward, finding the structure and finding the power from the emperor and the empresses and the lovers journey and the fool's journey. You feel the energy of moving forward or moving towards a different goal. This is also talks about working on your psyche. It also illustrates psychic energy or psychic powers in the working. This enables you to be mentally, for a mental map for you to be enabled to navigate through life as well. Astrology, the Cancer, is a sign of domestic security. This might be seen a poor fit with the material image of the chariot, but not one of us can consider patriotism or protection of home are often motivating factors behind the desire to venture out into the world, which I definitely understand. A lot of moves that I've had to do, or a lot of moves that I've been through, have been those moves where it's like, okay, well, these people aren't what I need. I think it's time for me to move on, or move forward, or move somewhere else. Or this is also about, having to take care of yourself and finding that domestic security of what's good for me, what's going to make me feel good, what's going to give me the love that I need. Last but not least, we are going to use our Angel Answer Oracle deck. Our Angel Answer Oracle deck is by the lovely Doreen Virtue and Radleen Valentine. And the angel answers are, I'm just going to pull 5 of them. I just want to know 5 general energies or any type of answers you're looking for. This would be the time to kind of think of those answers. And I know whenever you're watching this video, you're like, well, this isn't the time that I'm thinking of my question, so how would you know? Well, that is where ancestor and messages and our ascending masters should help me, and they should just give me 5 cards for the power of Libra, from the sign of Libra, for the month of October. I just need 5 cards, 5 answers, 5 different answers for the situation or any situations at hand. And then we'll use the Wand of Resonance to kind of wrap it up, and I'll kind of give you the overall view of the energies. But I see a lot of new beginnings. I do see a lot of struggles as well, but I also see a lot of new beginnings. I see a few hardships. I see a few decisions having to be made and a few choices. I also see a lot of moving. I also see a lot of different types of self-care or self-love that you need. I also see victories. I also see moving forward. I feel like you're very well balanced because you had water, earth, air, and fire in your chart, or all in your cards today. So I feel like you are manifesting on a good level, even though you're going through hardships, even though you've had shallow victories, I feel like some of those victories are still really, really well earned, and you shouldn't be thinking they're shallow. You should think that I'm proud of whatever victory I have, and allowing to make sure that your pride doesn't get the best of you, just knowing that you aren't Superman and that you are humble. Which I do that all the time. I try my best to not be a know-it-all. I know sometimes I can be a little bit cocky, and when I feel like I know an answer, I blurt it out of my mouth, and it could be something totally off subject, and then I look like a dumbass. So I can be like that at times, and sometimes I'm spot on. I can even say answers before people say anything, and that's good, but there doesn't get past those arrogant times or those jackass times where I think, oh yeah, I know this, I know it all, but really I don't know everything. I mean, no one knows everything. There's always a room for improvement, and there's always a room for learning. So we're just going to get 5 cards from the Angel Answers Oracle deck. These angels are just going to tell us just different types of things that we need to know. Just 5 cards for the general month of October. At the bottom of the deck we have meditation. Meditation brings answers. Very interesting. Meditation brings answers. Meditation brings answers. So I feel like what I love about these cards is that it's pretty self-explanatory. The meditation brings answers as in you're trying to come up with an intellectual answer to your concerns that hasn't been successful. That's because the solutions that you seek can only be found going within or going through meditation or some inner spiritual work. You may also gather insights from your nightmares, dreams, and as a subconscious create solutions for you that are not available to your waking mind. So pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to, that calm, whenever you get that moment of calm and breathing. If you do yoga, that's good. That this will help your meditation. This will help you kind of relax. Also, meditation in itself. So maybe you need to meditate and start finding that peace, that calm, so you can start getting the answers from within. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 5 cards I have is it's up to you. It's up to you. Wait. We have forgiveness. We have no need to worry. And we have a peaceful resolution. It's up to you. It's up to you. Do you see how she's like pointing at you, basically? Kind of pointing at you, and her mind is kind of lit up. The end result of the situation is asked about in its entirety in your hands. You can affect the outcome by taking a proactive approach to solving the challenges, or stand in your own power and confidence, and that you have what it takes to bring about your own happy endings, or your whole own happy ending. Don't wait for someone else to rush in and take charge. In order to come successfully to a conclusion, this situation requires your unique perspective and experience. So I feel like also this is your intuition. This is you having to make decisions and giving yourself the fact that you have the power to make yourself happy. Do you know how many times you make other people happy, Libra? You have the power to make yourself happy, and that it's up to you, and you have the ability and the perception and experience to get to that happiness. We have wait. Wait talks about exactly what it says. Wait, waiting on the situation to kind of pan through and kind of pan forward. It also talks about your situation is going to require a little patience. Your angels aren't saying no, and they aren't saying and they are saying not yet. Sometimes heaven needs a little more time to make all the pieces fall in perfectly into place, but what you are asking for may have a effect on all the lives around you. When that occurs, it is time for you to take an additional preparation to make sure that everyone's needs are seen. Be patient so that all who are involved can experience what has meant to happen or what needs to happen. So this can speak of maybe you just need just a little bit more time. Maybe there's maybe there's a decision that you have to take. Maybe there is a course of action that you know you may want to take right now, but you cannot because you don't want to push the situation. You don't want to cause conflict where you don't need to, in which Libras hate causing conflict. And so you may wait, but don't wait too long for indecision to fall through, because your angels are saying, they're not saying no, and they're just saying not yet. As in not yet. Maybe not today, maybe not within an hour, maybe not tomorrow, maybe a week from now, but maybe soon, or maybe sooner than later. Next card, we have forgiveness. I feel like this is about any type of past hurts or present hurts you're dealing with. This is about the fact that Libra say that they forgive, but forgiving and forgetting are two different things. And to forgive, sometimes you have to forget. And I know a Libra ain't gonna forget, but they definitely can forgive in the surface level. And I feel like you have to, in a deeper level, forgive. And you have to find that forgiveness and find a way to find peace, so then you're a little less angry, you're a little less pissed off, you're a little less PO'd when something painful happens. You'll find that forgiveness faster because you truly can forgive something fully and undyingly. And I'm not saying that you're not fully forgiving, I'm just saying that, I know how it feels to forgive and just be at the surface level forgiving, and then something just rehashes it, or something sparks it back up, a memory sparks back up, or that past event sparks back up, and then you kind of feel the hurt again, and you're like, wow, maybe I'm not over this, but you are forgiving yourself to getting over it, to getting past this. And forgiveness is more about yourself. It's more about giving yourself peace than the others around you. I know it sounds dumb, but yes, it is, because as you forgive, it's like rocks being lifted off your chest. We have no need to worry. No need to worry. This is a card of literally no needing to worry. I feel like the angels are here to help you and guide you. Your worries and your concerns are regarding your life or this question are unnecessary. God and your angels have the situation well at hand, and everything's going to turn out perfectly. Obsessing over the subject isn't helpful. The energy of fear and worry only slows the eventual manifesting of your own desires. Visual, loving, and happy outcomes can keep your thoughts positive. Very soon, you'll wonder why you were even worrying in the first place. Everything's all right. The gods, the angels, whoever you believe in, everybody, they got you. It's going to be all right. It's going to work out just fine, especially in the month of October forward, or whenever you're watching this video. I feel like the problems or the things you are worrying about, you don't need to really worry. I feel like if you are worrying about family issues, friends issues, relationship issues, you don't really need to worry. The cosmos will work it out. God will work it out somehow, some way. Last but not least, we have the peaceful resolution. Peaceful resolution is, I feel like a peaceful resolution is going through, is trying to find a fight, and is trying to find a way to kind of end a fight with peace of some sort. Also, this card is the challenges that you're inquiring about are going to come to an end. A conflict will cease and soon be replaced with harmony. There will be a sense of peace shared by all, even if some only agree to disagree. Disagreements will be resolved in your favor, and this includes struggles with employers, legal battles, arbitration, even strife amongst family, friends, or loved ones. And that being said, it can also be forgiving and understanding with those who may have been in error, allowing peace to come within grace and dignity. And it's very interesting. You did have forgiveness, and that you don't need to worry and to wait because it's all up to you. And I feel like peaceful resolution is just that. It's the way that Libras are best at, is peaceful resolution. There is balance, there is energy. I feel like this is the energy of finding that way of solving or putting everything to arms, all arms down, everyone putting their guns away and finding a peaceful resolution of some sort. So this is the Wand of Resonance. As the Wand of Resonance kind of flows through, it shows me that you guys have a lot of girlfriends and friends that are going to be coming into your life and giving you that heart chakra that you need to be replenished. I also feel like your intuition and All Hallows Eve happens in the month of October, so there's always that moon, that energy. I also believe there's a full moon in October as well. We have also the chakra of Raphael, which shows that you have self-love and appreciation, and you've already accepted yourself. You're successful at accepting yourself. You know what I mean? And you have found the energy to kind of love yourself with emotion, with finding the character of being that emotionally balanced person and that emotionally stable person. That balance is in your own hands and as you see fit. Also, I feel like forgiveness and waiting and all of this being up to you, all these decisions and fights and battles and moving and victories that you're going to be going through, it's going to be tiring. So make sure you also get your rest. Make sure you also get some type of peace of balance. If you have new projects and new ideas, I feel like this is also a good time to start them. I feel like these are also good times to, really look at your pentacles and lay down your burdens. You know what I mean? You had 2 10s in your spread. These symbolize endings of some sort or completions of a cycle, of a karmic cycle. And I just want to real quick one clarifying card for the Chariot, because the Chariot is about moving on, and that was your final outcome. We have the King of Swords. That is your energy, Libra. This is your report card. This is the King of Swords is a more no-nonsense king. He cuts out the BS that doesn't resonate with him or will really ride with him. He does what he needs to do because he is both very emotionally stable, but at the same time he's mentally stable. And that's what those swords are constructing, kind of showing him that he is mentally stable and that the conscious mind is all around him. I'm just going to read a little from the book, see what we can get up out of here. The King of Swords Kings also talk about control. The King of Swords suggests that that someone is establishing authoritative states over your beliefs or attitudes, rather than simply just going with the flow and letting others do what others think they want to do. This is also 2/3 Gemini, 1/3 Taurus. The King of Swords studies and understands the relationships between things, Gemini, in a through and thorough, painful, painstaking way, Taurus. The stage of development, a plan or a strategy that has reached a peak stage of effectiveness and is ready to be put into practice. So this could be that move that you've been thinking about implementing, or that move that you feel like you're going to be victorious to. I feel like this King of Swords is here to kind of establish that your mind's kind of there. You've reached the peak stage of your actions. You know also that swords are also about communication. So maybe you're communicating with someone that something is come to a conclusion, or something you see is not stable or isn't working for you. This also indicates that the capability of following the lines through logic and through logical conclusions. So this is also mind over heart matters. You know, the King of Swords is a very wise person and very smart and intuitive person. But that being said, he's so smart, analytical, and intuitive that his heart chakra, his heart matters don't really always matter to him. And he thinks of the more wiser, more analytical, more logical approach of what is better for all of us. So the two of the blades are still lack a tip to show that he still has more to learn, but the other two are fully sharpened and double-edged to show that he is sharp of mind and sharp of tact. He has analyzed every situation and he is ready to do what needs to be done. This king is also vigilant lest his mental structure calcifies in a narrow-mindedness. He must strive to maintain the page-like childness of curiosity and mental flexibility, but also the sternness of a king. These swirls around him in space show a conscious mind. 4 blades around him sort a temple of the mind. Such a solid and elaborate mental structure is quite an achievement, but it can still have its drawbacks too. So being so mental, being so strong at mind, maybe isn't always the good part. Maybe having that stronger mind isn't always the good part. I just want one card for this chariot, for this Sagittarius. For this chariot, for this swords. You have the Palace of Cups. So this Palace of Cups could be the palace of emotions. Could be the palace of a good emotional state. This is happy, submerged in depth emotions. So, which is very interesting, since this is the Cancer card and it is water. It shows that you're going to a place of an emotional stability, and the fact that you have the King of Swords shows that your mind is ready to get there and go to that place. So, all that I see here is that you are going to be completely in your power. Look out for those air sign people, those water sign people, those earth and fire sign people that are significant in your life, that may have that wisdom, that balance, and that action that will help you move forward. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed your reading, Libras. See you again.